Hello there, it's Maggie, the Cheshire Crafter. I've been sorting out some storage for my recycled fabrics, and I can show you the before and after, and I can tell you that the after is so much better and so much more pleasing. You can see a peep of it behind me. Let me show you where I've been, or let me tell you where I've been and what I've done. So much better, honestly. As you know, the flat I live in is quite limited for space, so I've got to be really clever with my storage solutions. And today my carer has taken me to Warrington to the IKEA store, where I'm hoping to find something that will help me with my fabric storage in my lounge. And I'm going to show you a horrific before. Now, the cabinet behind me here is a very well recognisable glass cabinet. IKEA did those brilliantly. It would keep the fabric clean, dry, accessible through a front door, but they don't do them anymore. So instead I've bought them from the Calyx or Calyx range in cube forms, and I've bought the cube fabric drawers that will slot into them. And if I move from here, they just go with me, don't they? That's if I win the lottery tonight. I'm ever hopeful. The cubes are bigger than I thought, and I'm sure that they'll hold a lot of fabric. Now, they're called Droner, and if you can see on the bottom, there is a zip that runs across the diagonal, and you just need to zip that up once you've unpacked it from being flat pack. And they're 13-inch cubes by 15 inches deep. And if I can show you on the depth of them, there's a small fabric handle. You couldn't make them yourself for that price, and they're quite wobbly at the moment. I think the cube will help hold them in position better. And I bought 6 of those, not all the same design. I bought 2 little things that can fit fabric in by my sewing machine, which stops them falling into the electrics, which I think is perhaps a wise thing to do. So these plastic boxes have got handles on, and they're quite deep. These are £3.75 each. Let's look at the before and the after. At my sewing machine, I've got the pre-cut fabric to make these blocks in 2 sizes, and it's quite close to my electrics here on the table. So the boxes that I bought are going to fit in here to keep them away from that. Don't want to electrocute myself, do I? One box is bigger and deeper than I thought, so that fits my pre-cut fabric, and the other fits my completed blocks. Some are ready to sew and waiting for the backing on, and the others have been already sewn and are labelled, and it will fit a bit of bias binding down the side too, so you can get a lot in those for £3.75. Very neat. And the other thing is, I saw somebody using not a wooden clapper, but a wooden spatula to help with keeping seams flat. So I thought, well, for that price, I'll try those, just for the items that I need to press my seams open to see if they'll help. In the wooden kitchen utensils section, this wide spatula was £1.50, and this small spatula was 75p. Now, the reason that I bought those is because if I show you the angle on that spatula, can you see the angle there? It's cut at an angle that I can press a seam open and help it stay flat, and then put the spatula on the top of it to help take some of the steam away. This spatula doesn't actually lie flat, but it might help me just to smooth some of those seams flatter than I have. Now, it's much, much cheaper than paying out for a clapper, and I'm going to see if there's any merit in that. If not, I'm in my kitchen, it's just going to go in my utensils bin. I'll let you know how I get on with them. So this is the before, and I've got everything colour coded. This is all 100% cotton, and I've got everything going through the rainbow. So I've got red and pinks, yellows and browns, greens, blues. I've got the turquoises and the darker blues. You'll recognise some of those. I've got white, purple, I've got grey in the Beatles bag, and black. So it's black and white, grey. And then over here at the back, I've got a bag of denim that I've kept separate. So I had intended to put those in the wardrobe and take up wardrobe space. All of this I'm hoping to get into those cubes. Let's see how I get on. Now, as you can see, this is just a little bit smaller than me. It's a bit of an optical illusion, but this is 60 inches tall, which is 5 foot. And each of the cubes is 13 by 13, and it's 15 inches deep, which means that these fabric cubes that are on the top hold a great deal, and it keeps it tidy and out of the way. Now, I really wanted a place where I could easily find my fabrics, see what I've got. I'm one of those people that if I put it out of sight, I forget I've got it. And I've collected this collection of fabrics and kept them colour coordinated in a plastic carrier bag in my wardrobe, and it was difficult for me to access them. So this is the selection of recycled fabrics that I have that are 100% cottons. There's some denim in here, broidery anglais, and I don't think there is a land. I don't think there is a land. I think that's it. In this box, I've got unfinished objects, the works in progress, and these are the completed toppers that you've seen me make, patchwork, which I've yet to create a quilt sandwich for and complete the quilt, and I'll do that on this YouTube channel in the coming weeks, hopefully. Time's flying, isn't it? Right, the main thing about this storage then is it needed to be accessible for me, so it's in my lounge. It's out of the sun, so the fabric isn't going to get sun damaged. I do get sun in this lounge, but it's not going to fade the fabric here. It's going to help keep it free from dust. But most of all, I can see what I've got, and I can see the selection, and I also can see what I'm running short of. And I really like the way it looks. Let me show you. So my new storage units are now in place. So to the left then are the boxes that I've had previously. I bought these in Dunelm years ago, and they contain fabric like fat quarters, all my scissors, lace, stencils, special shapes. To the side in the purple I've got recycled wool and a buddy board, and then on the top in my Cadbury's boxes I've got the button making kits. I make and cover my own fabric buttons, and if you'll see my Singer little machine, as you know, I've got a vintage sewing machine. So in this unit then, from top to bottom, this is the IKEA Kallax system, which is 2 cubes stacked one on top of each other, and in each of the cubes I've gone in rainbow colours. So I've gone from red, pink at the back, I've got brown and yellow, into the greens, then through the turquoises and paler blues, into blues, and you can tell I've got far more blues than anything else, and you might recognise some of those fabrics from the project I'm currently doing. Blues, I've got denims in the back of here, and then purples, and then in the bottom 2 drawers I've got grey in this one and black and white in this one, and in the top I've managed to get a bag of scraps and an unfinished project. So all in all, this is now my fabric corner in the lounge, and I think it looks a lot better than all those fabrics in bags on the floor, don't you? Right, I'm going to get some tea now. So this is Maggie, the Cheshire Crafter. Come back and see me soon, won't you? Bye.